For a person who has the opening riff from Enter Sandman as my ringtone, me being this person with this ringtone, being able to say that Lars Ulrich from Metallica is my guest in just a few minutes is a very, very, very exciting thing. Very. Stop it. Stop. The first time I ever heard a Metallica song, I was 15. I was quite possibly not where I should have been in the middle of a school day. And when my lab partner from science class put Master of Puppets on the stereo in his mom's living room, I was dumbfounded. I remember literally just staring at the speakers for the entire length of the entire album, wondering what was going on. Poring over the album jacket, looking for some sort of explanation as to what I was hearing, finding sadly no lame expository liner notes. It was just this wall of inexplicably cathartic, totally uncompromising sound. That blew my mind and became the unofficial soundtrack to the part of my adolescence in which I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing. 20 years later, the band's latest studio album, its ninth, is called Death Magnetic. They've won 9 Grammys. They've had 5 consecutive albums debut at #1. They were the biggest selling rock act of the last decade. They were just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Lars Ulrich, the band's drummer, apparently watches this show, which makes me feel like I'm 15 all over again and still impressed and dumbfounded. Joining us now, one of the greatest drummers of all time, Lars Ulrich.
Thank you.
So happy to meet you.
And back at you. That was quite an introduction. Thank you for that.
I didn't know whether or not I should go total fangirl.
It's always good to just let it all out there. Trust me.
There it is. Yeah. There you have it. You know, a 15-year-old now, or even a 36-year-old like I am now, falling in love with your music might just as easily be finding you on Guitar Hero as by any other means.
Sure.
Is that cool to you?
It's very cool, especially when you have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old like I do, because it's certainly in the age of spending a lot of time forcing them to finish their vegetables and do their homework and get to school on time. Dad actually has his own video game. That certainly helps and will continue to help into adolescence in the next couple of years. So it's been a lot of fun in the last year putting that together and actually realizing that almost 30 years into your career that you can still find an outlet that is unknown and new to you and sort of unique and exciting, and it's been a lot of fun putting it together.
Talking to you in the studio today, right after talking to Gavin Newsom, mayor who's running for governor, just makes me think about, I'm from the Bay Area, and it makes me think about what San Francisco means, and nationally, there's this denigration of San Francisco values. That's something about the Bay Area that we need to protect the rest of the country from what it's like here. I wonder what you think.
We don't mind that.
Yeah, we don't mind being a threat.
No, it's what we love about San Francisco, and we fly the flag all over the world, obviously, for San Francisco, is that it's a very small community in a sense that everybody knows each other. The artists, the politicians, the musicians, the actors, everybody that's here all feel a kinship to each other, not just through what we do, but also because we share a love of San Francisco and the Bay Area. And we are not Los Angeles, and we're not New York, and we're not Washington, and we sort of like that. And we all know each other, and certainly we know the mayor and his wonderful wife, and we see each other a lot in both social situations and private situations, and it's just a great place to. I'm European, grew up in Denmark, a very liberal, social democratic country, as you know, and being in San Francisco is the only place that I would be in the United States. If I was tarred and feathered and mercilessly thrown out of here, I would probably go back to Denmark. So most Europeans, and certainly everybody from Denmark and the people that I have kinship to and in the world of culture and social issues and so on, we all just love San Francisco, and it's the only place in America we would be.
I love the idea that it's tolerance that is so threatening. San Francisco is tolerant of everything. How terrifying.
They just don't know.
No, I think they know. I think they know.
No, but the thing is that, when you've had the opportunity to travel everywhere in this great country and spend so much time away from New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles, and so on, it's what you meet a lot in the middle of the country are obviously a lot of people that are very, very endearing to what you bring to them and so on, but you certainly feel that there is I don't know if intolerance, but certainly an ignorance to what we do out here on the coast. And so when I say that they don't know that we're actually, somewhat normal people out here that get up at 6:45 and make lunch boxes for our kids and take them to school just like they do in all the red states. You know?
Well, but then you think about the network of people that Metallica has tapped into and created. I mean, it's been 28 years?
Something like
Unbelievable.
that. Close enough.
And you think about the way that, I mean, at least the way that it worked for me as a teenager discovering Metallica, it was like, oh, it's not just anti-authoritarian, it's not just rebellious, it's not just something that's unlike anything I've heard before. It's something that makes me feel like there might be other people out there who feel like I feel. And so whether those people are listening in Iowa or in Arkansas or San Francisco, wherever they are.
It's the thing that we all long for, which is a sense of belonging to something else, something that's greater than who we are as individuals. And obviously in music, especially in harder music, you're appealing to a lot of people who have issues with alienation and being loners and outcasts and so on. And obviously it brings everybody together. And it's always a great feeling when you know that there are other people like you out there and that you feel that you're belonging to something greater than yourself.
Can I ask you one last question?
Please.
I guess that's what this is about. When you found out that Enter Sandman and other Metallica songs are being used in Iraq and in other detention facilities as sort of this way to torture people, essentially psychologically torture people, did you ever think about trying to pull a copyright action on the government, saying you're publicly playing our stuff without permission?
No, I would say that my first reaction would probably be one of, in some way it's all terribly fitting, because if there are people that are dumb enough to use Metallica to interrogate prisoners, you're forgetting about all the music that's to the left of us. I can name 30 Norwegian death metal bands that would make Metallica sound like Simon and Garfunkel, and so you're kind of sitting there going, it's all so strange and it's also bizarrely fitting in a way that it all comes from a place of ignorance. And certainly, listen, there is a lot of Metallica music that's helping a lot of scared 18, 19, and 20-year-old kids out there who are out on the front lines and who are doing a hell of a job on behalf of you and me and the rest of us. But and there's a lot of love in those ranks for what we do, and I certainly don't want in any way to belittle that. But obviously, when you hear stories like the one you're telling, it all seems so bizarre and so strange that Metallica's music, which generally is sort of facilitates bringing people together, is used in these bizarre circumstances. It's certainly not something that we in any way advocate or condone, but somewhere you just have to kind of roll your eyes and say, like, go find all those Norwegian death metal bands, because maybe you would get the answers you're looking for.
Yeah, hopefully they'd be mad about this that way too. Yeah. Lars Ulrich, Metallica founder, drummer, it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Nice
Thank
to be
you.
Here. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank